I love these videos. Small accounts growing to nice size amounts. In this case, a member took right around $500 up over $10,000, but it was not a smooth ride. And thanks to you as viewers and feedback, I know you enjoy situations like this because it's not like me sitting here and talking in theory. It's me using real life results. So that way you can have a little bit more context of, okay, yeah, this actually happened. And let's look at and observe some learning lessons from it. So this member sent me an email, and this was actually a while ago, but just in order until this video comes out. So the dates are a little old, but it's the concepts, I assure you, still apply. So let's just hop into the email from Chad. And he says, hey, Clay, hope all is going well and you are getting things back in order after the storm. Context there was a big storm in Michigan. My power was out for like 3 days. He says then, just wanted to provide an update. I am sure you remember that I blew up my account back in March, April time period. I was really doing well for a newbie, then got cocky and started doing some really stupid stuff. So lesson number 1, arrogance, overconfidence, being cocky destroys accounts. I've been there. Chad has been there. I give nothing but respect to Chad for admitting that. But please realize, and I've done videos on this over and over again, but again, no theory here. This is somebody just confessing. When you start to see some success, especially when you're new and just getting started, and quite frankly, even me, when I go on, I'm like, oh, that's another winning day. Oh, that's another winning day. I all of a sudden start, wait a second. Why am I doing that change? Why am I doing this? And you start to do things that are rooted in just flat out cockiness, flat out arrogance, flat out, ego. You got to be very, very careful because when you do stuff like that, bad things can happen. Okay, Clay, I get it. That's a good soundbite, but stuff like that. What does stuff like that actually look like in the real world of trading? How does ego show up? How does cockiness show up? Well, let's go to the next part of the email. So he says, right after all that, too large a position, not following a trade plan, and just being dumb. And that's the first thing, too large a position. That's textbook newbie 101. That's textbook risk management errors 101. That's textbook somebody like me that can get me. You get some wins, you see some green, you see your account grow, and then you start to do the stuff in your head where you're like, well, my accounts are growing. So if I increase my position size, I'm not a mathematical wizard, but I do realize that by putting more money in, by increasing position size, my account will grow even faster. And I mean, I've been having all this success. I'm a pretty good trader. Why don't I do that? And then you do that, and psychologically in the back of your mind, you just can't handle that risk tolerance, and then things start to go crazy. You start to get nervous in trades. You start to trade scared, and when you're trading scared, because you're actually nervous about the amount of money, bad things just start to happen, or you could just simply be wrong. I mean, everything could be fine from the trade plan perspective, but all of a sudden you just get in that one trade where it goes against you, and because you have larger position size, poof, a lot of those other gains are all of a sudden gone. So be very, very careful for that. If you just take away one lesson from this case study, just realize this. If you're feeling good about yourself, if you're seeing success, if you feel successful, don't increase your position size, at least not right away. The very first time, in fact, let's do this. The very first couple of times you're feeling good about yourself, you're feeling successful, and you think you should be increasing your position size, don't do it. Fight that temptation because bad things can happen. And then Chad also mentions not following trade plans. When you get arrogant, when you get cocky, once again, no judgments here. I'm speaking from experience. You feel like you can figure it all out. I know what my trade plan is, but I've been doing pretty good. So I'm just going to finagle the rules here. I'm going to make it work. I'm just going to make it happen. And then, something happens and it's called you get punched in the face and it doesn't work out well. So that's another typical thing is you just start not following the trade plan. And I get it. I've been there. It's just because you think you can figure it out. You think you can make something work for you. You think you can start to tweak and kind of dance around your trade rules. Just don't do that, okay? It's not where you want to be. So then he goes on to say, in fact, I dropped off the radar for about 45 days to think about it. I wanted to keep doing this. I took my small account from $1,000 to about $4,000, then down to $54 in about a 3-week period. So think about it. That's just how fast things can turn around. You can grind and grind and grind, and then poof, just like that in a relatively small amount of time, 3 weeks, $4,000 down to basically $50. cockiness kills. Thinking you can finagle out of trade plans and break your rules and still make it work. That stuff will crush you. How much so? Well, I mean, it knocked him out of the day for 45 or 40, or how much? I mean, it knocked him out of the market. What am I trying to say? It knocked him out for 45 days where he had to go and reflect on things, which is a nice little learning lesson in of itself. Sometimes that's really the best medicine. It's just to sit back, kind of reflect on things. What exactly happened? Funny thing is, I can remember exactly the trade that began to downslide. However, I pulled my head out of my nether regions, told myself that you don't quit anything because of a little bump in the road, and really reflected on what I did right and what I did wrong. Flash forward to the end of May, I injected $500 back into my massive $54 account and started trading again. This time, no emotion, analyzing everything I did, putting in and honoring stops. So in other words, he started to manage risk, which if you're new to the channel, get used to me. I'm going to talk about managing risk quite a bit because that's what actually matters. That's what's going to grow an account. I don't care about winning. A blind drunk monkey can win. I want to know what you do when you're wrong. And Chad, he actually started to become what I like to call being a great loser. He got good at losing, meaning he was wrong. He took the loss. He kept risks small. So where did that take him after starting to focus back on things? Now from there, I'll just say that he grew his account because I don't want to focus on the account growth. I mean, in all honesty, so maybe, no, this wasn't clickbait, right? Because in order to grow his account, the main learning lesson here is he needed to first get really punched in the face, right? He needed to eat some humble pie. And preferably, I would like to see you skip that step. I would like for you to just see your account grow and not have to do one of these grow, crash, and burn. Because that's annoying. I don't want that to happen to you. If this video can kind of save you the time, save you that hassle of having to kind of go through what Chad did. Again, Chad, thank you very much for sharing all this. Then that's kind of the goal here. But he got account growth by following rules, by following and honoring risks, by having a real strategy. Well, no kidding, Clay. But that's why, that part is kind of obvious. But how did he get, what was the driving force that really kind of hammered it home into his head? Hey, follow your rules. Don't get cocky. Well, the fact that it actually blew up in the first place. And that's very, very important. So to just close things out, you can see that, where did I put that? So breaking, and he broke the 10,000 mark. So at the time this video was released, I don't know how high his account will actually be. But as far as this email is concerned, he's up over $10,000. And then he goes on and say, hey, and I've been following the training and all that sort of stuff, which is great. I appreciate the kind words. I'm glad my training could help him out. But like I said, at the foundational core here is how do you grow small accounts? How do you get success? Well, you kind of got to realize that I don't want to say, well, you got to blow up your account first. In many cases, that's kind of the case because people just sit there like, you don't know what you're talking about, Clay. I'm having success. I'm all good. And literally those people know that's actually cockiness talking. And I don't want to see that happen, but it probably will happen. But like I said, if I can save even just one or two people the hassle of having to blow up an account and we can just keep your account growing, fantastic. And the best way to avoid that, please reconsider upping your position size too quickly. I'm not saying you can never do it, but the first time you want to do it, don't do it. The second time you want to do it, don't do it. Maybe the third time, but I would probably try to make an argument that even after the third time, don't do it. Just keep growing it, keep getting consistent, and then you can start to slowly increase it. But that is definitely going to be, in fact, in the comment section below, has that ever caught up to you in your trading where you're seeing some success or you're just making money, but then all of a sudden you decide to increase your position size and poof, just like that, like everything seems to, it's like somebody flips the light switch in your trading and everything just changes. Can you relate to that? I definitely can. Let me know in the comment section below if you can relate to that, because maybe there's some new traders that are like, no, I think this guy is just saying stuff. But if they read through the comment section, hopefully they can get some kind of war stories of people that, yeah, we're doing well, and then they decided to increase their position size, and then things, kind of the wheels fell off the bus. But Chad, all in all, nothing but respect. Not because you grew your account from the $500 to over $10,000. That's awesome, don't get me wrong. But I respect you for looking in the mirror, blaming yourself, which is the final lesson here. Who did he blame for blowing up his account? Himself. He didn't sit there and say, oh, it was the market makers. He didn't sit there and say, oh, it was some tweet. He didn't look there. He blamed nobody but himself. And that's also the key, is if you want to grow an account, you gotta blame the person that's trying to grow the account, you. But that's freeing, right? Because if you blame yourself, if you blame the person in the mirror, if they are the problem, then guess who's also the solution? The person in the mirror. And you can fix that. So don't be blaming market makers and all this other nonsense. I mean, if that is truly the case, you should stop trading because everything is apparently out of your control and there's nothing you can do for it. So again, if you're gonna sit there and take losses and losses and losses and then start to blame everybody but yourself, then just stop trading because apparently, according to your logic, there is nothing you can do about it. So you save yourself the money, go do something else. But when you blame yourself and say, yeah, no, I'm tempted to throw the stone at somebody else, it was actually just me. But like Chad did, he did that. He proclaimed to have his head up his you know what. But after that, by doing that, he decided, I'm going to pull my head out of you know what, and I can start to improve. And that's what he's done, and he's been doing a great job with it. So Chad, well done for you for not blaming anybody else, for accepting the personal responsibility, and the results have been very straightforward, I think, since then. So if you enjoyed these videos, again, like I said earlier, I know from comments and such, you do enjoy these case study videos where I'm trying to talk about some learning lessons through actual things that have taken place. But yeah, if you enjoy them, hit that like button, leave a comment down below. Questions, comments, suggestions. Again, have you ever had any sort of pains by increasing position size? Let me know that. And then check out the channel as a whole. And if you like what you see, hopefully decide to hit that subscribe button. But yeah, thanks for hanging out and get out there and please, please, please be aware cockiness can lead to bad things. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.